Tampon Tim gets booed at a college game in Michigan and flips the middle finger to those in the crowd. Sounds like somebody's time of the month has arrived. Michigan fans wait in the rain to boo Tampon Tim at Big House on Saturday over the weekend. Tampon Tim Walz attended the Michigan football game against the Minnesota Gophers in Ann Arbor, Michigan on Saturday. Michigan fans stood out in the rain to boo the freakishly weird Minnesota governor. When his entourage pulled up to the game, the Michigan fans booed and told him to, quote, "Get out of here." Like his running mate, Kamala Harris, Tampon Tim has no support. This is pretty brutal. You see, this is why they gotta hide Tampon Tim and Kamala Harris. Because in reality, when they're actually around real Americans and they're not around any astroturfed controlled environments by the media or their campaign, reality hits them in the face. They get booed, they are hated, they're not popular, and nobody wants them around at all. And as a result, when this happens, it's a mess, and the frustration sets in, and the backlash towards the voters begins. Report: Tim Walz gives middle finger to Trump supporter while at Michigan football game. That's a way to win over voters. Democrat vice presidential candidate Tim Walz appeared to give Trump supporters the middle finger, essentially saying, "F you," while attending Michigan's recent football game against Minnesota on Saturday. In a newly surfaced video circulating on X, Walz appears to give the middle finger to Trump supporters attending the game. In the video, as Walz exits Michigan Stadium through a tunnel, a fan shouts, "Trump 2024, baby!" And I guess this guy responds with saying F you. Shortly after the Michigan fans shouted their support for Trump, Tampon Tim flipped off the fans.
Oh yeah! Trump 2024, baby! Oh yeah! Trump 2024, baby!
So much for turning the page on the hateful rhetoric in this country, and so much for unity and compassion and working together and moving forward from all of this divisive, hateful rhetoric that they always blame on Trump. Honestly, that's probably the first time I've seen Tampon Tim actually be authentic. At least he's telling the truth. He hates you. Of course he's going to tell Trump supporters, F you. And of course, Trump mentioned this at his rally in Erie, Pennsylvania, totally obliterating Tampon Tim.
You know Tim Walz, you know who he is, right? I won't say which, but he went to a game, they booed him out of the place. He wanted to go home early. He wanted to get out of there. That was not good. It was not a good environment. But this is a poll. I mean, that's a poll. It's all a poll.
And they always want to talk about JD Vance or Trump being weird. But Tampon Tim is a weird one, ladies and gentlemen. Tampon Tim wears his stolen valor cap at Michigan game, grabs his sack. Yes, meaning his testicles for the camera. But JD Vance is weird, right? Tampon Tim was caught grabbing his nutsack on camera.
Getting ready to vote. Yeah.
Not sure if he got a little too excited and he had to touch himself, or maybe his tampon came loose and he had to readjust his tampon because he laughed a little too hard and it moved out of place. I don't know. What do you guys think? And to make matters worse, the official Harris campaign seems to be in disarray The official campaign emails going out to their NPC supporters contain a very, very concerned sounding message. Just before Kamala Harris's big girl photo op border visit last weekend, the campaign sent this email out to all of their supporters stating this. The New York Times just released new polls of Georgia, Arizona, and North Carolina. Unfortunately, Trump leads in all 3 states. Arizona, Harris, 45%, Trump 50%. Georgia, Harris, 45%, Trump 49%. North Carolina, Harris, 47%, Trump 49%. And one might ask themselves, why did the campaign send Kamala Harris down to the southern border? Well, because the campaign is not doing well at all. They've been trying extremely hard to knock the open border out of the top 2 issues in the 2024 election by replacing it with abortion. They've failed. And now they're emailing their own supporters, making it very clear that Trump is in the lead and Kamala Harris is falling behind. Speaking of Trump leading Kamala Harris, Trump attended college games over the weekend as well and was embraced as the rock star that he is. Alabama crowd roars as Trump is pictured on the big screen at Bryant-Denny Stadium for Alabama-Georgia game. President Trump was cheered by fans when he entered his box at the game on Saturday, but the crowd really roared when they showed Trump on the JUMBOTRON screen at the game. Legendary. You don't see Kamala Harris or Tampon Tim getting this. The president was standing with Kid Rock and the great Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville. Also, President Trump handed out snacks to the kids earlier in the night. You see, this is why the mainstream media has been working overtime to astroturf not only Kamala Harris, but Tampon Tim. You want to know why? Because whenever Donald Trump walks out in public, the reality is America loves Trump. And the reality is America wants Trump back. And the reality is America does not want Kamala Harris or Tampon Tim, because they're liars, they're destructive, and America does not want another 4 years of this garbage and destruction. They want to make America great again, safe again, prosperous again. That's what America wants. And so this is why they are doing everything in their power to try to psyop America into believing that somehow Kamala Harris and Tampon Tim are America's favorites. No, that's not what happens when they show up in public or college games. America boos and rejects them. What happens when Trump shows up? It's cheers, because he's a rock star and he's America's choice. My name is Drew Hernandez for the Gateway Pundit, and you have been on watch with Drew Hernandez. I'll see you guys on the next one.